Today, a new fantasy RPG for Xbox leans heavily on themes of morality. Is this a recession indicator? This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint, a fiscally responsible option when compared to a free-to-play game.
We only have one in-game currency.
Dollars.
Which is one-to-one with real-world currency.
Paying anything is wholly optional.
And while there are no legendary skins or epic emotes, you do get the tremendous value in the form of us keeping happening.
Though you should know, no matter how much you support our Patreon or YouTube membership, I will not show you my roadmap.
A mere 6 years after it was announced, the Fable reboot is coming out in September. We got our first look at what Playground has been working on since 2020, thanks to a bunch of gameplay footage reveals at Xbox Developer Direct last week. And yes, I know the first four-ish games were made by Lionhead, but they shuttered in 2016. And Playground, who's more famously known for the Forza Horizon games, picked up the pieces, and that means this is going to be the first new game in the series since Fable: The Journey in 2012. The game's proper name, by the way, is just Fable, not Fable 2026, not the new Fable game, and definitely not Fable 5, because that would have been much easier for games journalists specifically. I've already used the wrong name once. Tell me where in the comments below. Anyhow, Playground are promising that Fable 2026 will keep the original spirit of the games intact and give the people what they want. A world where actions have consequences and morality matters. For those who haven't played any of the Fable games, the conceit of the game's morality system was that the choices you made directly impacted how the world treated you. Altruistic behaviors led to your character being perceived more admirably by NPCs and even looking prettier and more well put together, with the opposite true for less noble deeds. It was interesting, but you could also kick a fisherman off a bridge and everyone would still like you if you tipped well. The new game is promising a bit more depth and granularity to the morality system, and since public opinion matters, so much more public to form opinions about. According to Playground, there are 1,000 NPCs in Fable 5, and they all have a detailed life that you can observe. They go to work, they engage in hobbies, and they sleep. You can hang out with any random person you meet, and they'll remember how your actions affected them, and then form an opinion of you based on how you acted. You can give them gifts to try to get them to like you, date you, and even marry you. Yes, all 1,000 of them. Can you imagine the streamers going for 100%? Ooh, sorry, I can't pick up the kids from soccer practice today, hun. I need to put in some extra hours broadcasting myself, neglecting all 1,337 of my virtual children. In addition, there are celebrity cameo NPCs. The game is British, so Richard Iowade and Matt King are in there, and a lot of people want to virtual marry Matt Berry. Also, these NPCs are going to turn to the camera like they're doing mockumentary interviews, like in noted fantasy RPG The Office. According to Playground Games chief Ralph Fulton, this was narratively useful because then they could really neatly tell a joke or drop in a character detail in a way that would feel clunky in dialogue. Okay, but you can also buy any house in the game and just become a full-time landlord, which is a really nice pairing with that morality system, since you can also evict your tenants, which is probably fine since everyone loves a rich person. But don't worry, the new Fable is also an adventure game. Somewhere in there, underneath the celebrity cameos, fourth wall breaking jokes, dating and slumlord management sims. Sounds immersive.
Herschel Dr. Disrespect Beam has once again floated up to the photic zone of the attention bowl by lying about being invited to Highguard's hands-on preview event. The disgraced streamer, who was permanently banned from Twitch in 2024 for allegedly sending sexually explicit messages to a minor, posted a photo to his X The Everything app account on January 24th showing a badge for the Raid Shooters launch event with the message, "Last week we took the Lambo to LA to check out #Highguard." In addition to the lazily created badge, the photo's mise-en-scène included the 43-year-old man's energy drink, switchblade comb, and alarmingly greasy PlayStation controller. Highguard's creator-manager quickly confirmed that Beam was not invited to the event for their game, which has been generally reviewed as fine. Streamers who were actually invited to the game's launch event posted photos of their badges in response, including several differences. Legitimate badges read Creator, whereas Beam's has the personal catchphrase The Two Time. Beam's has a matte finish while the real badges are glossy. And finally, when writing his name, Beam committed the shameful error of substituting Arial for Helvetica. There's broke, and then there's substituting area for Helvetica broke. He thought we wouldn't notice the straight leg on the uppercase R or the continuously rounded C. 4 days later, Beam, who could not even afford Calibri, announced the sale of a limited number of signed official event passes for Low Guard because it's the end of the month and rent is due, I guess. We here at CheckPoint look forward to forgetting about Beam until he does something else to remind us of what a giant loser he is.
Arknights Endfield just launched, and I wouldn't be talking about it if something hadn't gone hilariously wrong, so enjoy this. If you're not familiar, Arknights is a gacha game, and those run on money, and naturally on launch day there was a lot of people buying digital gigas, and a lot of them were using their PayPal accounts. Pretty soon, though, people were wondering why everything they were paying for wasn't showing up on their PayPal balance. I mean, people weren't wondering very loudly, obviously, because it's very fun to get things for free, but some people were, because they had everyone else's charges showing up on their PayPal accounts, some up to €3,300. In fact, players soon figured out that if you were just the last person to enter your PayPal details into the game, then everyone else who made purchases would start using your PayPal details instead of their own. Was this a novel pyramid scheme from developers Hypergriff? No. Was this a new sort of communist ethos with the devs saying, no, this is our PayPal, comrades? Also, no, it was obviously just an enormous fuck-up on launch day that had Hypergriff scrambling to disable PayPal functionality and then eventually refunding all purchases made and all charges accrued. But what I'm wondering is, why? Not why did this happen, but why did you stop? Your players love gacha. So prove it. Leave the system the way it was. Let me see how much they really like to gamble.
Every year when Ubisoft announces the 5 or 6 games they intend on releasing that year, before they decide which ones they're going to cancel, there's always that little segment where they trundle out the next Just Dance game and everybody watching thinks they're still making Just Dance. And yeah, not only do enough people keep buying it to make it economically viable for Ubisoft to keep making it, people subscribe to Just Dance. Did you know they had a monthly subscription? Well, bad news, it's going up. It's been a tense week for Ubisoft because in the wake of their baffling restructuring announcement and a demand to return to office, a group of French workers across 5 different unions are calling for a company-wide strike. So Ubisoft is turning to the only people they can rely on, the Just Dance whales. Prices are going up by about 25%, from $4 to $5, from $10 to $13, or from $25 to $30, depending on the subscription. And in return, Just Dance aficionados are receiving this community update video where a clearly terrified Frenchman quietly squeaks out messaging along the lines of, due to licensing issues, we don't know exactly which tracks we will be sharing, but we'll have a list for you soon. These few extra dollars cannot possibly make a dent in Ubisoft's current woes, but it is indicative of a shift to maximizing every dollar they can at the cost of its customers' goodwill. However, I'm comfortable reporting that Just Dance Plus subscribers will keep paying these higher prices for no added value because, as a continuing consumer of Hasbro's only financially viable division, I speak from personal experience.
And that Furby secret layer, how does that make you feel?
Well, that's the neat trick. I don't feel anything.
Coming up, thanks to dedicated fans, there is now a PC port of Banjo-Kazooie that supports 4K, 120 frames per second, and ultra-wide screen, so you can now feel viscerally threatened by every sharpened vertex.
Hey, CheckPoint. Want to thank Beej for writing about Arknights, and Cameron for writing about Dr. Disrespect, and Nelson for writing about Fable.
Good job, whole team.
There's always that little segment where they trundle out the next I like they're like, all right, we have 1,000 NPCs. Oh, cool. You can also marry them all. Oh, I wasn't going to do that.
I don't want to. I mean, somebody is going to 100% that.
But what is 100%? Is it marrying every NPC?
And get a divorce, or
I look forward to
maybe just betting every NPC.
Yeah,
I think that's reasonable.
Forward to the to future speedruns.
No, actually, because some of these it might not be possible because some of these NPCs could be children, so you shouldn't be able to marry or.
Oh, you probably can't marry. No, I don't imagine you can actually marry literally every single one of them, though.
Well, if all the NPCs are adults, though,
I bet there will be a future GDQ speedrun of depopulating the world of Fable. How quickly can we murder 1,000 NPCs?
I mean, pretty fast, I imagine.
Probably. I don't know. There's probably tricks. I've literally never played a Fable game.
No, and I kind of like, I was reading the intro, I was reading the stuff about the Fable game, and I was interested. And then it got to the thing where the NPCs will turn to you and do like a fourth wall breaking interview, and I'm like, I'm actually less interested. I haven't played the game, so I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. But to say, hey, we decided to break the fourth wall of our game so we can give you different information and jokes, I find that as a creative professional, I mean, I want to see how it plays out because I don't want to shit on this. I like funny games. I like jokes. I like all of these things. But to me, that seems like a very bad approach for a video game where I'm trying to immerse myself in this world. You
need to also appreciate that even though, to my knowledge, Peter Molyneux is not involved in this version of Fable at all, we here at CheckPoint have a lot of Molyneux-related baggage towards Fable.
What do you mean there's 1,000 PCs that you can marry?
Yeah, recall, this was specifically, the original Fable was the like, you can plant a tree, and then you can see the tree grow over the course of the game. And it's like, oh, that's amazing. That didn't happen. You couldn't do that. So, you know.
One of the things that happens in this game, though, is that there's like, you know, there's not too much if information has been given out. But like, for example, there's a monster that you can kill, and you can shoot, and if you kill it, then its corpse is there for the rest of the game, and the people get mad at you about that because they don't want to be looking at this big corpse.
All right. Well, I mean, if it almost sounds like the people, because this is the people that made Forza Horizon, which is a totally different kind of game, and it kind of sounds like people were like, I want to make the Fable game that I thought Peter Molyneux was making.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
And it definitely, like, so Playground is a British studio.
Yeah.
So it's going to have a really British sense of humor, which I think I view these sort of fourth wall breaking moments as this is how you get a footnote into a game. This is the legacy of Terry Pratchett and of Douglas Adams. We're getting fourth wall breaking moments. I put some footnotes in my book. I think maybe I actually don't have a high horse that I can sit on here. Unless I integrate them all into the text.
Nah, I wouldn't worry about it.
I mean, we'll see. I just like I said, like for something like this,
footnotes are great fun when used properly. So I don't know. I'll be curious to see what people say.
Yeah, I want to see what it's like. But I'm just like, that's a weird reason for doing it.
Highguard's hand-on preview stream. Hand-on? Hands-on. Why did hand-on sound so much worse? I mean, can't wait to get hand-on this game. Ugh. By the way, Highguard, I was like, it's been reviewed mostly fine. The thing is, it's Midgard. The thing about Highguard, and this, as soon as it was announced at the Game Awards, everybody was like, "Oh, I get it. High over guard watch. Okay, so it's an Overwatch, right? Except you can ride horses." Is that it?
And Judge Fable from the top your horse.
Yeah, it's been very poorly received. Like, the actual reviews seem like it's fine. Like, it seems totally fine. But I think people are, I don't know.
In this the year of our Lord, it's got to be better than fine for you to play a shooter like this.
I think the online discourse, for some reason, has decided that it's going to be fun to meme on Highguard. And so that's what we're doing. Having said that, I was like, oh, maybe I can do an intro referencing Highguard. And so I looked it up, and it was like, oh, here's an article on Game Informer. Here are the 3 currencies of Highguard and how you can get them and what you can spend them on. And I immediately glazed over, and I was just like, okay, that's fine, whatever, because it's free to play, right? So
yeah, so they've got to obfuscate their economy as much as possible between like 3 different kinds of like currency, some of which you earn and like some of which can only be exchanged for the other currency, and like just to make it as complicated as possible. And so when you see like $60 pop up, buy a bundle of currency, you think, well, that's a pretty good deal.
I do reiterate, I mean, it was written as a joke in the intro, but I do reiterate that, like, for much, much cheaper than a legendary skin, you can do $2 worth of support for us here at Loading Ready Run.
Yeah, $2 a month, $25 a year.
But if everyone did it, that'd be amazing. Also, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
On our Patreon, patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, becoming a member on YouTube. Member shout-outs at the end of this video.
Yeah, you don't really have to. Like, it would be nice, but I appreciate it.
It'd be really nice. Due to licensing issues, we don't know exactly which tracks will be available. What accent am I doing? Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Okay.
Here we go. I think you got kind of a Clouseau thing going on.
Yeah, that's fine. He does have a very thick accent in that video. Hey, also, this weekend, January 31st, on our Twitch and our main YouTube channel, we're doing a pre-Rift, a pre-release event for the new Riftbound expansion, Spirit Forged. Got our friend Covert Go Blue in as well, so it'll be a bunch of us and him playing Riftbound all afternoon on Saturday, so please tune in for that. And then, after that, the same day, Saturday night, it's Loading Ready Live, and it's the Big Mid Quiz, so you're going to want to tune in for that. It's going to be a really big, fun day of streaming on Saturday. Hope to see you there. In addition. Okay. Come on, Graham. Figure it out.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for getting this online, Paul and Heather.
Great. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Skip up, bebop.